Hi everyone, welcome to this series of videos dedicated to the texture work that I've done recently. This time we're just having a look at this wood, this textured wood. So this time we are only going to focus on the wood, not the paint, not the colors, only the wood. Okay. So basically it's the same as the nice wood flooring that I've covered recently. So the same base texture. Some knots and deformation in the wood fibers. What I call the termites eating the wood. Same thing, almost the same thing. So the real difference comes from this frame here and this one. Alright. The rest, it's the same: holes, stains, cracks, scratches and knot cracks. It's all the same, basically. So let's see what we can say about this frame here. This is the result. We have two main things. We have knots and lines like this that represent the main wood fibers. And my reference was this thing here. We see the long cracks and the wood fibers, vertical wood fibers. So I wanted to try to give to obtain something like this. I started with see, it's not easy because we have two things happening here. We have the lines and the knots and the twist also. So it's not easy to read. Let's start with the lines. It's a simple gradient linear one, which is splattered with these values. So it's a bit extreme. Then a simple warp. And that's it. Basically, for the lines, there's nothing more to it. It's very easy with 4 nodes. Then I use the directional warp to give natural deformation where the knots are. And they're driven by these dots here. Where these dots are, I've also put the actual knots that you can see here. It's a grunge map. Let's talk about the knots real quick. It's a grunge map with a big stretch. I reduced the size to this point. Then you just combine, you just blend this effect, this texture with these white areas with a multiply node, and you just use the same thing as a mask to really isolate where your wood knots are. And this is driven by an HVG node. I just drew the white spots. So you see a simple blur HQ grayscale. a contour that gives me the knots. Then this mask that I drew also drive the mask, I should say also drive the directional warp, the intensity input of the directional warp for the wood fibers. So that gives us that. Then a slope blur grayscale. Then I used a directional noise, a vertical directional noise, to give the line something more wood fiber vibe. And then just blended the fibers with the nuts. And of course a mask to just isolate the nuts where I wanted them to be. So that's pretty, that's it for the lines and the nuts. I think this is a good setup because there's not too much nodes here. It's still quite simple and it works. Let's talk about our long cracks now. This is the result. I really wanted to have something like this. You see? You should always strive to have something absolutely not perfect. You don't want clear and clean lines. Every contour, every edges must be broken. So that's what I tried to do here, as you can see. And let's see now how this can be done. Once again, not too much nodes. I think this is reasonable. So I just started with a waveform 1. You can see the values here. Just made it vertical, splattered it, like this. Use a directional warp with a paired-in noise zoom. Well, some slope blur grayscale based on clouds 2. Before and after. So it's a start. I could have stopped there, but I really wanted to give something more. So I used a new slope blur grayscale based on a crystal 2 tiled lots of times. I don't know how many times it is tiled. And it just breaks the edges. It breaks the forms in a good way, I think. But I kept going with this approach. So I use a transform 2D node. I just flipped the node vertically. No? Oh no, just a bit on the left, I think. Yes, you see? Same thing. Just a bit on the left. Use the warp node. The warp nodes are very effective. Based on the same crystal 2. So this warp is blended with the lines. And it's subtle once again. I use the max lighten, and we see the difference here. Okay, max lighten works well. And we have it. We have our long cracks, interesting cracks. So this is our wood and our cracked wood. And this was the reference. Of course, a lot of people say that, but you should always work with a good reference. Just to give you a direction, a clear direction. And it saves a lot of time. Then we see the effect with some holes, some small damages. Some slashes. And this is the final result. There's a lot of things going on. And then you, of course, you combine your texture with the planks pattern. Like we saw in the first video of this series. Okay, that's it for this topic. Next time, next video, we'll talk about the color path for this red painted version. So, okay, Substance Designer just crashed when I wanted to use the iRay. But we are done. Thanks for watching, and see you next time for a new video. Bye bye.